All right, so again, welcome to tonight's class on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in itself. We've been seeing Bitcoin just growing at an exponential rate, and so we want to talk a little bit more about it tonight and get you to the point here where you informed on it and things of that nature here. All right. So we're talking about Bitcoin here now. What is Bitcoin? Now, that's probably the main question here, right? What exactly is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is basically a digital currency, all right, that was created in 2009. Many people don't realize this here, but it was created in 2009, all right, and it uses peer-to-peer technology to facilitate instant payments. So if you think about it, if you're in America now, you want to send a payment over to Europe right about now, you got to depend on a third party to send that payment over there. Well, this is what Bitcoin is really instituted for, to where you can automatically transfer money anywhere at any time within seconds, right? So you're removing the need for a third party payment. Generally, if we want to send money overseas, right, we got to go to the bank or we got to go to some type of payment transfer center. Generally, they have them in the malls in order to do this. And so this is very popular here with Bitcoin in the transaction phase. A lot of people now is accepting payments via Bitcoin. I know a couple guys that I know that own real estate properties. They are also accepting Bitcoin payments from their tenants, and so this is pretty interesting deal here, right? With Bitcoin being accepted as a form of payment. I know at one particular point, Elon Musk with Tesla was accepting people to buy their car and Bitcoin payments that they wanted to as well. I know my barber, what I go to, he accept Bitcoin on his Cash App as well. So Bitcoin is just a form of a peer-to-peer technology where you can facilitate like instant payments. Well, you may also too be seeing these Bitcoin like miners, right? And saying, okay, look, what exactly is like a Bitcoin miner, right? And so a Bitcoin miner is just right here. When computers on the network verify and process transactions, new Bitcoins are created, all right, or mined. And then these network computers or miners process a transaction in exchange for payment in Bitcoin. All right. Bitcoin is powered by a blockchain. All right. So it's operated on a blockchain, which is the technology that powers many other cryptocurrencies. And so when we think about this here, we're going to also be talking about one other cryptocurrency that I also, want to talk about slightly a little bit, which is Ethereum as well. I'm only buying two different type of coins. All right. When it comes to cryptocurrency, I'm only buying two. That's Bitcoin and that's Ethereum. And you will see why a little bit later here as we go through the details on why the two cryptocurrencies that I'm buying, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum. I ain't buying no Dogecoin. I ain't buying no Carvana. Them platforms just don't really serve a purpose. They just it's just not as secure as the Bitcoin and the Ethereum in itself. All right. So let's just kind of tag along here and go along here with the training here. All right. So guys, check this out. Bitcoin is very volatile. All right. Bitcoin today. All right. It hit it hit a intraday high. All right. Not today. I'm sorry. This was the all-time high. It hit a intraday high, all right, on November 2021. It got as high, it was the highest point it ever got to, was 68,991.85. So it's been a while since it's been at this $68,000. It's been a very long time. But Bitcoin got as high as 68,804.19 just last night. All right. It just got just that high as of last night. All right. And so that's why you're starting to see a lot of people in your office, a lot of your family members, a lot of people in your community in the news now is talking about Bitcoin, because now Bitcoin has certainly reached back up to its all-time high and is creeping up a little bit more. All right. Now let's talk about this right here really quick. Now, one of the avenues what cryptocurrency offers, you will see down here, it offers you diversification in your investments. And so when you look at your investments and we talk about your investments, we talk about, okay, you got some real estate here. And then right over here, you got your IRA accounts, your Roth IRA account, your rollover IRA account, your investment accounts for your kids, some general investment accounts like when a brokerage account. And then now you got your 401k account that's in your overall investment portfolio. And then you got right here, this is a business owner. So we may have some business owners that's on this call right here as far as a form of investment. And then now you have what you call cryptocurrency right here. The cryptocurrency right here give us the avenue to have an additional just an additional thing added to your overall investment portfolio. And so when we looked at this right here, we talked about this the other day, and we talked about Facebook and we talked about Instagram. But we talked about Facebook in particular had 5 different type of streams of income. All right. Facebook has 5 different types of streams of income. They have Facebook, they have Facebook Messenger, they have WhatsApp, they have Instagram, and now they have Threads. Those are the 5 different streams of income that Facebook has. All right. 5 different streams of income that Facebook have. And so this is what you can literally have right here, right? So you go right here and you look at your overall investment portfolio, you can have all of these here. And the one good thing about Bitcoin in itself or any type of cryptocurrency is the fact that you can buy Bitcoin right here at any dollar amount that you want. You can buy it for $1, $5, $15, $20. All right. Whatever dollar amount that you want, you can buy it here. We're going to talk about the different platforms that you can actually buy it on and things of that nature. But guys, let me ask you this question here really quick before we even go any further right here. All right. Before we go any further, how many employees do you have working for you? And I don't necessarily mean business owners. I mean as employees as in these right here. Because if you get living in a house, you may not realize it, but if you go and you look at the amount of money that you spent on your house and what the value was on that house to what that is today, while you sitting in your house tonight, your house actually making money for you is quiet money. You don't realize it because if you ever decide to sell this house, you're gonna make some money off of it. Or if you decide to leverage this house and do a home equity line of credit, or let's say, for instance, maybe a regular refinance or cash out refinance, this is something that you're going to be able to benefit from. So, again, I ask you, how many employees do you have working for you? Then you go right here, you got these stock accounts, all right? And these things of that nature, that's another employee that's working for you. And so when we talk about employees working for you, this is another employee when we talk about cryptocurrency that can actually be working for you. All right. And so that's very important when we look at this here because we're going to go into some numbers here and look and basically see how volatile that cryptocurrency is. But it's an employee that actually worked for you. But you got to think about it like at your job. There are some good employees, and there's actually some employees that's a little risky, like Bitcoin per se, right? But they still do the job and get it done, but they're kind of off a little bit. They may not come to work on time as always. They might be a little late with their projects, but they get the job done. And that's kind of sort of like what Bitcoin is. What I like to look at as far as when it's talking about your employees. All right. So let's talk about this here. This is very important. This is one of the main reasons why I look at Bitcoin and I say, I got to take a step back and look at this because you got to ask yourself, what's an investment to you? All right. An investment is basically the art of you putting your money into something and that's going to make money for you. Well, if you go back and look at here, right, Bitcoin value in March dating back to 2011, and you look March 2011, it was at $1, right? And to where it is in March 2024 now at $62,000. That's something that's, is pretty steep to go back and look forward to, right? But you see a lot of growth, but very volatile. When you go back here and look at March of 2023. So if you look at it, March 2023, it was right here at $22,000. But yet and still, when you go back here and look at March of 2020, you go look at March 2020. All right. So 2021 got up to 50,000. So you look at right here between COVID. All right. This is when people start making a bunch of money in Bitcoin. So when COVID happened right here, literally in March, up until March of 2021, there's 8,000 to 50,000 right here. A lot of people made a bunch of money, man. But then you go right here in 2022 when you had the high inflation and when the overall stock market was down too, so was the cryptocurrency market. And you saw Bitcoin right here at 42,000. And just last year, we continue to see Bitcoin just steadily like decreasing. And then now we got all of a sudden, we got like this surge right here into Bitcoin. And so my question leads to this right here, right? Is how much more will Bitcoin continue to grow over time? But how much are you willing to stomach over it? So let's look at this chart right here. Let me break this down here, right? Let's look at Bitcoin, how they sold off at the end of the trading day today. So Bitcoin today was right at 67,000 right here, right? And that you will see almost about right here is when it was hitting like its all-time high. What I was sharing right here, this right here, when that Bitcoin got as high as about that 68,000. So right around about here, right? This is 67. It's about 68,000 right here, right? You see it right here, that's 68,000 here, right above that a little bit, right? But then, and these are the times down here. You see this 6 o'clock p.m., 9 o'clock p.m., 5, 3:30 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 o'clock a.m. So around about 9 o'clock a.m., it got to about this right here. This when Bitcoin really hit a all-time high, like all-time high. But then all of a sudden, once they hit that all-time high, you will see here it just slowed down, right? So from round about say 11 a.m. to where it's at now, or round about 4 o'clock, it went from 68,000 to right here at 62,000. So guys, this right here between right here and right here is about a 7% decrease. So you say 7% decrease, just think about it. If you had $100,000 into Bitcoin right here, for instance, right? Or let's say, for instance, let's say you had $10,000 in Bitcoin. That thing went from 10,000 at 11 a.m. all the way down to like literally like it lost 7% basically, right? So you just think about it. It's down to like say 3,000, say, right? So that's why I say it's tough for people to really buy Bitcoin, because how much are you willing to stomach this here? All right. How bad are you willing to stomach this? But when you actually look at the long term, it's the most important piece to this here. The long term, if you look at it as a long term strategy, then we should be looking at this as far as it's okay. All right. So let's just do this here, right? Let's look at the growth of Bitcoin and how much your investments will be worth over time. So let's get into some numbers here. Let's play with some numbers on this here. I want to go here to a site that I use, which is my bread and butter quite a bit, what I use and I share here with you guys, and it's the portfolio visualizer. I've shared it with some of you guys before, and so I'm going to use it right here for this scenario here. All right. So let's just talk about this here, right? So we saw right here in 2011, right, where Bitcoin was right at about $1. All right. If I go back over here to my slides right here, we see March of 2011, Bitcoin was at $1. So if I go right back over here, and let's say, for instance, I take a start year of 2011, and I go and I look at this and I say, okay, look, if I would have just dashed into this here and I said, I'm going to throw $100 at Bitcoin in 2011, and I want to put no more money into Bitcoin because obviously I'm gonna throw a shot in the dark and see what it do. That same $100 here in Bitcoin in 2011, I'm about to show you what that would be worth today. All right. So we go right here and we'll say, okay, $100 into Bitcoin in 2011, how much would that be worth today? Guys, that's $8,173. So for every $100 that you put in 2011 in Bitcoin, that will literally be worth $173,000. I mean, $8,173, right? So let's say, for instance, this person here, they would say, okay, look, let's look at this other scenario. So from 2011 and then up until now, this person say, you know what, man, I'm gonna be consistently, I'm just gonna throw $100 a month in here, right? I'm gonna spend $100 a month going out right? I'm gonna spend $100 a month eating out. Let me put $100 a month and see what that do, right? So from 2011 up until now, and straight having it in Bitcoin. Now let's see what that does because now we're investing this over a long time. Now, as you will see right here, we go down here. This is the true beast, and why I say we might need to look at Bitcoin because if you see this right here, $100 a month from 2011 to up until now, that's $661,000 and $253, right? This right here is what should be opening your eyes up to say, okay, think about this here. Let's talk about this for a second. From 2011 to today, what have you spent $100 a month on and just throwing money away, right? That's gonna give you $661,000. That's why I go back and I look at this and we talk about this and say, well, Tony say cigars. I like that, Tony, right? Cigars, right? $661,000, Tony, would those cigars would have gave you that type of return. So here's a message I want to point to you guys tonight. We know that Bitcoin is very volatile, but we also might want to look at this aspect of if we're in Bitcoin, we know that we're going to be in here for the long term because the way I see it is, where would Bitcoin actually be 10 years from now? Where would Bitcoin be 20 years from now? Where would Bitcoin be 30 years from now? I will be 72. And if Bitcoin now is at 68,000, that's the thing that we might need to be looking at and not necessarily, oh, Bitcoin down 30%, oh, Bitcoin down 6%. We know it's volatile. We know it's volatile. But what are we actually doing in order to put something, right? That employee that's going to actually be working for us, what are we actually doing to deploy our dollars to actually have more people working for us? And cryptocurrency is one way of doing that. Now, I want to introduce you to another cryptocurrency, which is Ethereum. Now, when we go right here, let's look at this here. So if you go over here to investing.com site here, right? All right, hold on one sec here. So we want to go right over here to investing.com. All right. And over here at investing.com, you can literally go right over here and it's going to give us our cryptocurrencies, right? So you see Bitcoin right here. All right. So let's hit Bitcoin. And then what it's going to do is it's going to show us Bitcoin. All right. And basically what it's doing over time. All right. So let's just do this right here. All right. So when we go right here, you will see right here, Bitcoin right now. All right. Now that's one thing about Bitcoin. It trades 24 hours, 7 days a week. Right now, it's down 7% or 6% so far as of say over the day period, right? All right. So it's at 63,000. So if you think about it, it was at 68,000 last night and now it's at $63,000. So this thing here is very, 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 very volatile. All right. Now, usually up here, they also have a chart of different cryptocurrencies. Here it is right here. So when you go right here, this right here is going to give you and show you all the different cryptocurrencies. And it's going to show you by market value. So by market value, that means that how much each currency is the value, their worth, their value. So Bitcoin, as you see right here, Bitcoin is worth $1.2 trillion. The second highest valuable coin is Ethereum, right here at $428 billion. I mean, $420 billion. You remember I told you at the beginning of the session here, the only two coins that I'm consistently putting money in is Bitcoin and Ethereum. All this other trash down here, this Dogecoin, I don't deal with it, right? Solana, I don't deal with it, right? Because these two platforms right here, they actually have substance to it. These down here, I don't even deal with them. Shiba, they ain't got no substance, right? But let's go and look at Ethereum though, because I really love Ethereum. I actually think Ethereum will actually outgrow Bitcoin over time. And so you go right here, look at all these last 7 days, Bitcoin is up 11%. You see Ethereum right here is at 9%. But let's go right over here. Let's go back over here to this this site right here, right? And let's look at Ethereum. Now, I don't think Ethereum came out in 2009, but let's just go and look at this here. So right here, this ETH, we're gonna go and look at this right here. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna compare this here, right? And let's go back right here, and let's say not 2011. Let's go back right here. We're gonna do 2020. All right. So we take right here, and guys, check this out. We're gonna go right here. We're gonna narrow this down. You can need to do month to month. So we're gonna go right here and we're gonna take March, right? March of 2020. This is when the pandemic happened, all right? And COVID came around. So March of 2020, right here through December. And we take that $100, we got our income tax check, we take $100, and now we take $100 a month, all right? And we put it each in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And now let's look at the differences between these two particular cryptocurrencies right here. All right. So when we go down here, let me make sure here. I hit analyze portfolios right here, and we go right here and we look at this right here. So if you look at it, portfolio one right here, right? Portfolio one is your Bitcoin. All right, you see here, portfolio one, and portfolio two is Ethereum. Portfolio on Bitcoin, that's saying $1 a month from March 2020 to now, Bitcoin will be worth 14,588. Oh, portfolio two is Ethereum. Oh, $100 initially and doing $100 a month from 2020 to 2024. Now it's worth $20,074. Hmm. I don't hear too much more about Ethereum, but I hear more Bitcoin than Ethereum. Well, Sherman, why you do both? Oh, because you ever hear that jargon, don't put all your eggs in one basket, in particular with cryptocurrency, right? Or, right? I always like diversification, everything. Diversification and everything is important to me. That's why when I tell you guys, when we go back over here and we look at like these different employees that's actually working for us. See, when you only working your 9 to 5 job, you really only got one employee working for you, and that's really like your job, paying you basically. But when you got all these right here in place, you got five different employees plus your job paying you, them six different type of incomes of different people that's working for you. So when it comes to cryptocurrency, I also like Ethereum as well. All right. So on a weekly basis, I'm basically putting $25 into Bitcoin. I'm putting $25 into Ethereum. All right. And basically what I do, I used to use Robinhood, but I don't even use Robinhood anymore. It's just trash to me. So Fidelity, right? Fidelity has a now an account here, right? A cryptocurrency account. So you literally go right up here to open an account. All right. And this is a little bit later in our slides, but I'm just kind of jumping the gun here. So you literally go right here, open up account, and literally right here to crypto trading. You click this right here, and you can open up a crypto account within 3 minutes. All right. Open a Fidelity Crypto. When you go right here and open a Fidelity Crypto, you know how you guys go and buy your fraction shares now? You can literally, when you open this up, you can literally go in and hit that search and buy and type in ETH, right? ETH, and literally go right here and buy Ethereum. You can literally go right in here and type in BTC and literally go and buy Bitcoin at whatever dollar amount that you want. That's very important because if you want to have access to this here, right? I look at this right here. What are you wasting your money on that you know that's not good for you and you still spend your money on it, right? Versus I know cryptocurrency gonna be volatile, but the key to this is, and I want this is what I want you guys to get before the end of this class is over with, or after this class is over with, if you're thinking about investing in cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Is not what will that investment be worth tomorrow, not what that investment will be worth by the end of the year, but what will that investment be worth 3 years from now? What would that investment be worth 5 years from now? What would that investment be worth 10 years from now? Because the way I look at it is the fact that, man, I got young kids and I'm deploying different monies into different investments, but I could be setting this up. And if I can have my kids on the beneficiary of this crypto account, and by the time they get my age at 42, and my oldest son now is 11, So you're talking about the next 30 years, right? What will Bitcoin be at? And at my age, that's the way I kind of look at this particular process here when it comes to owning cryptocurrency. Because I'll be honest with you, it's to a point now where Congress is trying to really put some regulations to Bitcoin. Because remember, I told you in the early in the session, Bitcoin is basically the point where you have that peer-to-peer technology, right? And it's an instant where you can send that payment anytime and anywhere that you want. All right. So let me share this here with you. This is just how easy um, this is just how easy it is to buy it on the Fidelity platform here. So basically, I just went up here to the top and I put in BTC. All right. You see here where you see that 63,000 here. All right. We just saw it right up over here where Bitcoin right here is at 63,000. So it's trading like that on all the platforms. All right. But this is how easy it is to buy right here on Fidelity. You just add you some money over here, right? You go and hit buy, you hit your dollars, right? You go and hit your dollar amount. Let's say, for instance, you take here, say $45, for instance, if you want to do it, you take market, boom, right? You go over here, preview order, place order, and boom, that's how you buy it. If you go right here, and let's say, for instance, you want to go right here and put ETH, right? Boom. You go right here, you buy Ethereum, all right, buy dollars, dollar amount, market, boom. That's how you go and buy it. All right. So this is very important. All right. This is one way that you can go right here and buy Bitcoin and Ethereum right here on the Fidelity site. All right. Now I've been talking quite a bit. I want to pause and see if anyone have any questions at this particular point. We're almost about done, but I want to address any questions here. I think I'll see a couple of them here in the chat. Oh yeah. So Malcolm, you asked, can you DCA? DCA, guys, is dollar cost average. Dollar cost averages mean you invest in these anything, no matter if it's up or down, but you invest in it consistently on a weekly basis, monthly basis. That's what you call dollar cost average. And no matter if it's up or down, you buy it. So yes, Malcolm, you can do dollar cost average on that with that. Same as the new feature on Fidelity where you can automatically do it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. You can do it here on that crypto account as well. All right. Any questions so far? Any questions? All right. So
Hey
we're gonna.
Sherman,
Oh, go ahead.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So one of the things I want to ask is, with Bitcoin being so volatile, right? Like I think I heard that they're predicting even for 2025 that it can go up to upwards of like 100 grand. And let's just say you're in it, you say you've been in it for a while, right? That's significant, increase. Is there a time when it makes sense to like actually take profit and maybe put those funds to maybe more towards like the S&P or something that's probably less volatile? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you go back and if you look at if you made a bunch of money into cryptocurrency, when we look at the chart right here on this on March right here, right? So you look at from like March, if you look at from like March 2020 to like 2021, when you
Hmm.
made if you got in right here, let's say for April, and you just saw this thing go like this rise, you just say for instance, you made like say 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. I look at like this right here, Brother Costell, is you probably could take some of this money here and deploy it into maybe going and buying an investment property, right? Or going
Hmm.
and buying and put it in your Roth IRA, your brokerage account, right? Or
Hmm.
heck, I'll be honest with you guys. I know I talk about investing all the time. You take this money here that you would have got and maybe take a vacation on it, right? Because this ain't money you work for. This where your money worked for you to do it. So yeah, absolutely, man. I definitely take profits. On that, right? And I know this ain't part of the conversation, right? But I'm just gonna let y'all know I was in 2020, Tesla was very good. In 2023, 2024, Tesla has not been performing well, right? So I'm not into Tesla position any longer. When we talk about taking selling out positions, right? So yes, some positions you hold on for the long term, but I see Tesla at the point where Elon Musk, right, is the CEO, and he's just very emotional. He got a point now where he got Twitter, which is called X now. And for me, it's just more so losing his focus, really, is what Tesla was initially. So for me, the stock just got just too volatile from a long term perspective. And I said, okay, well, we had some market losses in that. So basically what's happening is, right? You just say, this is my thought process. So you guys kind of do what you want to do, but this is my thought process, right? And many of you guys followed me, so I'll get questions on this, but I want to let everybody know on the platform now while it's being recorded. You take some of your losses, right, and you out of Tesla, and then you just pretty much boom, rolled them up over into Nvidia because of what we've been seeing with Nvidia. It's been exponential growth. I look at some of y'all portfolios and I'm seeing Nvidia at 100%, Nvidia at 120%, 150%, 200%, right? So some of those losses that we had over in Tesla, boom, we just roll them up over here into Nvidia, or maybe not even Nvidia, but maybe a QQQ or maybe a VOO. Another index that what we really like is SMH, right? Which is Nvidia, AMD, Brother Costello. We talked about it. What about the taxes on the profit for Bitcoin? That's a very good question here. Guys, just like with anything else in any investment, as long as you have that investment for 1 year or more, you're going to pay no more than 15% on the capital gain. Not what you put into it, but on the capital gain, you're going to pay 15%. If you hold Bitcoin less than 1 year or any other investment, you're going to pay taxes based on whatever your ordinary marginal income tax rate is for that prospective year. So if you're in a 22% income tax bracket and you made $10,000 off Bitcoin for that particular year, then you're going to pay 22% on that $10,000 capital gain. If you're in a 25% tax bracket, you're going to pay 25%. So that's why I tell anyone, if you're going to hold an investment, think about the taxes on it too. If you hold at least for 1 year or longer, the long-term tax rate, capital gain rate is 15%. Great question. Great question. Great questions. Any more questions? Make sure I got them in the chat here. All right. Great question. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead here and proceed and finish up here. And we'll take some more questions here at the end. All right. Okay. So also, where will Bitcoin be in the future? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, right? And then you got to ask yourself, will you be able to stomach the volatility or if you are in this? So what Brother Costello was saying, man, the news and the analysts are saying Bitcoin may be at $100,000. It may be $150,000. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be sitting here in my house looking at it and say, dang, I wish I would have done that. When I know that I'm spending $25 a week eating out, when I know I'm spending $25 a week doing some other stuff, right? Maybe doing some shopping, right? When I could be sitting back and I'm thinking to myself, like, that could be $25, that $100 in 2011, and doing that every single month. History generally repeats itself over time. And as you see, Bitcoin been going since 2011, even though it's been up and down. So I have to ask myself if I can go on Amazon and spend $25 a week, I can maybe put it into this Bitcoin because you got to think about it like this right here. When you going and you buying on Amazon, once you spend your money, you ain't getting no return. It's gonna probably maybe get what you need at that moment, but it ain't gonna give you no type of return as to maybe what cryptocurrency or what your IRAs and what your 401ks may be doing for you. So that's very important to look at that. It's basically how you spend your money. All right. I'm almost done here. I want to show you guys here. Is anybody familiar we already did this here. How you buy Bitcoin. You can also buy it. You can also buy it on Robinhood as well. Does anyone else outside of Robinhood, are you on any of the exchanges where you buy your Bitcoin currently? Anybody on any exchanges when they buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, I use Gemini.
Gemini. Talk to us a little bit more about that.
Uh, I don't really know much about it. My homeboy put me on it a while ago when I bought my Ethereum, and that's the only platform I ever use. But I mean, it's pretty simple, just like every other one. You connect it to your account, you transfer money in, you purchase it, and it just sits there in your wallet.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, how long have you been into that Ethereum?
First put some money in. I want to say it might have been about either 2020 or 2021. I put like $1,500 in initially, and then that thing got down to like $210. And I didn't touch it. And then I just seen like lately, like it started going back up. And then like maybe about a month or two ago, I just put the rest in and just bought a full one. So now I just have one full Ethereum. I haven't
Got
gotten
it.
into Bitcoin yet. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's the thing, man, Jamal. It's so volatile to the point. Do I even stay in it, right? But I look at it as if money, if I could lose and throw away, it is what it is.
Man, for real, yeah. So,
Yeah,
but yeah. So I'm gonna keep messing with it.
got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Malcolm, you said trust. Talk to me a little bit more about that, if you can. Malcolm say trust. All right, Malcolm may be on the phone.
Trust is it's a wallet, but it also has like the capacity to like go and buy Bitcoin on it. Um, it's cool. I like Trust in large part because it has a cold wallet that you can use with it. I don't have it yet, but you know, a cold wallet is basically like a flash drive that you can store your Bitcoin on if you ever, you know, had enough that you just said you wanted to just be able to keep some out of the market, away from where like any off the blockchain, away from where somebody could potentially, you know, do anything to it, or you know, anything happen.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, I have a homie who kind of schooled me to Bitcoin back in like late 2019,
mhm.
and so I have a couple. I don't have a couple Bitcoins. I have maybe like a couple $100 worth of Bitcoin
Got
in
it.
there.
Got it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing that. Hey, look, so I want to share this here with you guys, and then we're going to be done here. There's this thing called halving that's about to come up. All right. And so I want to share this because I saw this and I was like, this pretty interesting. So halving, right? What is halving? I saw this here and I said, let me share here with the Let's Win financial community. Prices at each Bitcoin halving, right? So in 2020, right here at the end of 2020, Bitcoin was at $180. All right. 1 year later, it was $510. 4 years later, because this right here happens every 4 years to halving. 2016 to halving, right, was 660. And then 1 year later, you see how it jumps. So it's a trend here from 180 to 510, from 660 to 2600. 4 years later, right here, right, Bitcoin price $8,600. Then 1 year later, we're at $49,000 here, right? So in 2024, we're at $60,000. And so, Brother Costello, this is where they're talking about here, right? By the end of the year, 1 year after from now, right? This is where Bitcoin can be over $100,000. And so this is when you say your hits right here, every 4 years in the Bitcoin halving is pretty interesting piece here, right? So brother Costello, I'm kind of sort of like you, right? Once you kind of make your money, you can either take some of them profits out, right? Or you continue to keep it in there and ride it out. Because really it's like your cost basis, right? When you buy Bitcoin, you can say, okay, I bought it for $60,000. And as long as you buy it for that 60,000, this is your cost basis. So anything above 60,000 is really your gains on. So if you sell any of it, then you lose your cost basis. And then now you got to go buy into it when it's higher. Your cost basis is higher, or maybe when it go down, you can drive your cost basis down. But I saw this right here and I thought it was very important with the halving here. Now, Malcolm or Jamal, are you guys familiar, or anyone else, are you guys familiar, have heard about this halving before tonight?
Nah, I don't know what that is.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So you guys can read a little bit more into it here. This is on Instagram. This is a great page that I follow right here for information like this right here. And so this right here, right? It says it happens right here. It happens right here every 4 years, right? Every 210,000 blocks are mined. The purpose of the halving is to gradually reduce the rate at which new Bitcoins are created, ultimately capping the total supply. Here's the key right here, guys. The total supply at 21 million coins, a figure that is expected to be reached sometime in the 22nd century. So ultimately, it want to cap this right here, the total supply of $21 million. I mean, 21 million coins. So I look at this kind of like the supply and demand. Bitcoin generally goes up when there's more demand, it goes up. Um, this is a pretty interesting here with the halving here. So if you got a phone out, if you're not on Instagram, but if you're on Instagram, you go follow the alerts here. Screenshot this here because it'd be interesting to see where Bitcoin will be based off this halving, this scenario right here, right? 1 year later from here, right? Will it reach the $100,000? Man, I mean, with Bitcoin in itself, I mean, just this week alone, I mean, it's hitting 63,000. And then you wake up because it's still trading at night, then it's 65,000. And then you working, and then now you see different alerts. Oh man, Bitcoin now at 67,000 in hours, and oh now it's at 68,000. So that's why it's like, might be something where I say it's just an employee that works for you. So this ends the session for tonight. But want to pause here, take any questions based on anything shared tonight. And then also too, this is an open forum as well. So if anybody have any general questions, financial questions, you can ask that as well. So any questions? Any questions? This also too is going to be recorded, so we're going to have it on the
Good.
YouTube page. Go ahead, Jamal.
No, I'm just saying I'm good. Talking to you
Okay.
soon.
Yeah.
Hey.
Any questions? All right, guys. Well, this is going to end the Bitcoin session. Again, you can go out and buy it there on the where I'm buying it on the Fidelity site. Open it your crypto, man. $5, $10. You can actually do it on Cash App too, guys. It's there as well. But the main thing here is the message that I want to point to you guys is this right here: is how many employees ultimately do you have working for you? And then this could be cryptocurrency, could be that employee, that additional employee that you add to your company profile, your last name, to continue to keep turning your last name into an asset and increasing your family purchase power. All right. So with that, guys, be well, be blessed, and as always, let's
Chairman,
continue to have a great one, guys.
Chairman. Uh-oh.
Yes.
One question.
Oh yeah, go ahead, brother Copeland.
Tax implications.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you report that on your income tax?
Yes, sir. You certainly do. You will get a 1099 statement from Fidelity or Robinhood or Cash App at the end of the year. It's a tax form. And then you will have to report that when you file your taxes. And then that capital gain is based off or how you pay your taxes. So, yes,
Right,
you file that
right.
with your taxes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
that'll be through Fidelity.
Yes,
Understand.
sir. If you open an account through Fidelity, yes, sir, they will send you a 1099.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. So, great question. So, all right, guys. Have a great night.